Assalamu alaikum and welcome to a new video in the Diwani Jali script. In today's video we are going to talk about the letters Dal, Ra and Zain. Now Dal and Dal are both the same shape and Ra and Zain are also the same shape. So we are going to talk about Dal and Ra, and the Dal and Zain would follow those two letters. First we will start with the letter Dal, and for that one we are going to need the following. We are going to need 2 points of horizontal shape, let's say these two, which will govern our horizontal movement, and along that we are going to need 3.5 for the vertical movement. 3.5. Now here we could put some outlines for us to see what is happening. The first point on the right will govern our first move. So in the Diwani Jali, the Dal does not look like the Diwani. Then the Diwani Jali, it will be a curve this way and another one that goes down. Meanwhile in the Diwani, the normal one, you do 3 moves. You do 1, then 2, then 3. So the shapes are really different with regards to the Dal. So with the first one, the first move, we start somewhere below this 1 point, but this thing sort of keeps us inbound, just like this. This is the first move. It's basically a very high curve, and it is short with regards to the following move. So this is the first move. We extrude a bit below that 1 point and then go back, and the angle we hold the pen with is quite clear here. As you can see, this is the vertical line, and the angle we hold the pen with is like the Alif one, this one. So with the same angle, you go back and you rotate, just like this. This is the first move. Now the second move extrudes 2 points from this line because it's longer than the first one. What is happening here is that we basically are doing the second move of the Alif, which is the end of the Alif, this move, for the Dal. So we go down, we leave 1 point of space here, Mshan, so that we could govern our drop down here, and we continue until we finish the letter, just like this. Now let's do it again. We do 1 curve, which is this one. The second one would follow immediately after it. We go down and we start curving and we finish the letter just right over here. Again, here we have 1 point. So it's a very simple letter in a way, but this is, by the way, the shape of it singular. Go up, rotate, quite sharp here, go back and do the Alif move, which is this one. Now with regards to the rotation down here at the end, the rotation sort of starts from almost here. By the end of the first move you start rotating the pen in order to get the decrements in the shape. Now this Dal is sort of by itself, and Dal would be 1 point up here basically. If it's connected, we do a move up just like the Ba, then we come back with a shape that is like this in the Ra move. We will see it right now. Now this is the Dal singular and connected, and the Dal too. With regards to the Ra and Zain, we have several shapes for those two letters. The first one is 4 points high, 2, 3 and 4, and it is basically very close to the Ba. So you start with a Ba move, this one. You stop here and you take this angle of a 45 kind of, and you add a point here. This way you will force yourself to go down, then come back to the left. As we can see, this point is to prevent you from going to the left and make it straight. So you go up, then down, then you start going to the left, then you would close the letter with the same move as the Alif. This is the first shape of the Ra, or the Zain. Now we have another shape that is smaller than this one. It goes for 2.5 points of height, and this one is similar to the one in Naskh and Thuluth. And we basically, by the way, the whole of the angle, I hope it's clear because it's very shallow, but I think it's clear in the videos. So what we do here is that we go up, go down, then right down here, what happens is that you start rotating the pen before going upward. So you can see here the pen lost some size because you have to start rotating in order to close the letter before it goes up. So basically what you do here is that you start rotating the pen from this, let's say from this stage. I will show you the difference in a bit. So you go up, you go down, you reach down here, you start rotating the pen, and you would go back with this move. You basically do the same move, a similar move like we did in the ba. Now what am I talking about here is the following. If you were to keep it as it is, you went up, you went down, and you did not rotate the pen early enough, you will end up with this shape. You see this wide end of the Ra? This is wrong. You shouldn't do this one. What you should do is you basically start rotating before going up. This way the thickness of this letter disappears before it, and it gives you this smooth transition of thicknesses in the letter itself. Now this is the second shape of the Ra, which you could use when you have connected letters to each other and you end up with a very small space. This would be quite beneficial for you. There's another shape that we use in certain cases, which is you start with 2 points move, which is this one. It's like a curve and another curve, just like an alif, but it's very short. Imagine doing an alif but sort of compressing it into this shape. A more Diwani shape which goes down, and yeah, you close it downwards instead of upward. Now this one you will see a lot with Sin. So the letter Sin in Diwani Jali, sometimes they do it with the long shape, the kshida. So you will get a very thin letter, then you stop back here. Now here you could connect a dal of this shape, or you could connect a Ra that we just saw. So those two could be connected to a letter, but they connect in very sort of rare occasions for the Sin and the Sheen, that is kshida. Because when you connect a Ra, normally what you would do is that, for example, if you had a ba and a Ra, what you will do is simply join the ba immediately with a Ra. And that's the end of it. You simply, this is the Ra, this is where the Ra starts. So if we did it again, you're going down with a ba, you stop, and you start with your Ra. And this is very important, the idea of simply going downward, because the Dal is different. The Dal, you will go up, then you would come back. This is the main difference between Dal and Ra, and you need to be really careful about this, because if you missed it, you will become like immediately another letter, a different letter. So if we saw this in an example, so for example we have two words, had and har. Had, which means a limit, har which means heat. For had, of course we start with 4 points of wide for the head, so that we could get our heads around it. You start with the ha that is going this way. So basically you use this move because you have to go up for the dal. And finally you would add the dal down here. So you were forced into using this shape of the dal, this move upward, to make it look like a dal, because har is different. Har, you simply immediately go downward. And this is basically the difference between the two letters when they come connected. One of them is forced to go up with a nebula, the other one it simply goes down. Now, practice those two words. Also, you could practice the word dha'id, which means a person who is protecting, like yadudu, they protect the territories or something like that. You start with a dal. I like this word because it shows you both cases of the dal. You go up, down, and left with a nice rotation of the pen. And you finish it with a closure down here. Then you start with the alif, going down and going left and finishing it. You could add the decoration up here. And finally here, dha'id, you have a nebula, just like a ba and a ta. Then you would add a dal, just like we talked. And the hamza we will talk about by the end of the class. So dha'id. Also, you could use another thing for ra, which is zakhir. So I'm going to use this zay, the one that goes up and down for 2.5 points. And just down here, it starts rotating immediately, just like this. I could bring the alif from inside to have an intersection. Add the decoration. Now the kha I could get from here, but I want to put the zai dot here, and I could simply put the kha here. Or if you want to, you could do this kha in the previous lesson when we talked about the big kha to fill in space. So you go back and you are going to use this shape. To have the ra immediately curving from the kha, just like this. Which looks good, kind of. Trying to think of a better way to get it, but yeah, it works. If you had a ha or a kha, but you rotated back and you went up and you decided to go immediately for a ra, yeah, this isn't pretty. Yeah, didn't work. But if you want to write it normally, you could simply get this shape, the normal one. Zakhir means sort of it increases in beauty and, like, yeah, you'll Google it basically. So here we have two letters, dal, dal, ra and zay. Practice them, try them. With regards to the shapes, you usually connect the dal this way, and you have one shape for it separated, and the zay or the ra, we have 3 different shapes, this one and this one, the normal one, and the other one that we talked about that has a start, a 2-point height, a 2-point high start, then it goes down just like a Diwani. So yeah, practice these letters in some words that contain ra and zay, and see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and have a lovely day. Goodbye.